Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare
Is the camera working now, the screen? Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, So find Radha Krishna bol, bolare sobai. I don't. Radha Krishna bol, bolare sobai. By Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Song. sung by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So in this song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur tells us that Lord Chaitanya Nityananda would go out daily in the streets of Nadia. Nadia is in Navadvip, West Bengal, about 500 years ago, and they would request the people of the town, the Sankirtan party, they would request them, Radha and Krishna bol, to chant Hare Krishna, Radha Krishna. So, the teachings that Lord Chaitanya gave to the people were very simple. He said, we are all caught up in a whirlpool of senseless action. We are acting, but what is the value of our actions? It's not making us happy. It's producing reactions. In the material world, there's karma, akarma, and vikarma. So karma is action and reaction. Every action you perform produces a reaction, a response from the material energy. But in ignorance, we do whatever we feel like doing. And we think we are free to do. But then the reaction comes. If a man thinks that he can just, grab a woman on the streets, there'll be a reaction, right? Either he'll get beat up, or he'll get locked up and end up in jail. So every action we perform produces reaction. So there are some actions that should never be performed. That is called vikarma. And that is given in the scriptures. Vikarma. Nunam pramata kurute vikarma. But we are acting in ignorance. And so Lord Chaitanya says we are caught up in a whirlpool of senseless action. And all what's happening is we are sinking lower and lower. We may not believe in karma. We may not believe in reincarnation. we may think we can do whatever, but even here, we cannot do whatever we like. There will be reaction. The law is there. If you overeat, you will get indigestion. We cannot do whatever we like. So Mahaprabhu said, if you can just understand that you are a spirit soul and you are the eternal servant of Krishna, then that will be the end of your sorrows. You can really understand this fact that you're not this body, you're a spirit soul. So chant Hare Krishna, he says, and your eyes will fill with tears, tears of joy, happiness, and your body will feel transcendental ecstasy. So chant Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Nityananda would ask people to do this. He would beg them, especially Nityananda Prabhu. He would beg people to chant. And he said, this is all that we are begging from you. This is the only alms. I'm not begging for money or anything. Just begging you to chant Hare Krishna. And when you do this, all dangers will be gone when the holy name is chanted. So, Radha Krishna bol, bol, bolare sobai. Radha Krishna, bolo, bolo re sobai. Radha Krishna, bolo, bolo re sobai. Radha Krishna, bolo.
Radha Krishna Bolo
A.C. ka diya Shobna diya Niche niche Bonita A.C. ka diya Shobna diya Niche niche Bonita A.C. ka diya Shobna diya Niche niche Bonita Diya Niche niche Radha Krishna Bolo chant Hare Krishna. This is the only alms we're begging. In the Kali Yuga, we are so fallen that the Supreme Lord has to come again and beg us to chant Hare Krishna. On Gaur Purnima, which just went, we heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a covered Channa avatar. He's Krishna, but when Krishna was present 5,000 years before, he asked everyone to surrender, but nobody was taking it up. So he comes again, and this time he comes in a disguise as a devotee of Krishna. And he distributes this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Him and Nityananda Prabhu, they brought this from Goloka, and they freely distributed it to anyone and everyone. Because there isn't anything better than this. Chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. Srila Prabhupada said, when he came, he was kind of experimenting with it, going out into New York. Nobody's ever heard of Hare Krishna when he came. And he went into a park all by himself. He says, I was experimenting to see what kind of effect it would have. And he would chant every day, 3 hours. And gradually people, just by hearing the chanting, they started coming forward, one by one. So this holy name of Krishna, it is all auspicious. It brings good fortune when chanted. It is not different from Krishna, but it is even more merciful than Krishna. Yes, it says, Abhinatvam Nama Namino. The name of Krishna is not different from Krishna. If there's any difference, that is more merciful than Krishna. Because he comes to you in your fallen condition. You can chant Hare Krishna and Krishna is there. He's on your tongue. And you can chant and you can become ecstatic. So who will not take this up? Bhagavatam says only a butcher may not take this up. Someone who is killing himself. But it's so nice. It's so nice. And the more we chant, the more we become purified, and then we can actually begin to relish chanting. It's like medicine in the beginning, but as we get purified, then the sweetness of the holy name can be tasted, guaranteed. There's another song we want to sing called Bol Hari Bol. I've never sang this one here, but some of you may know it. It's on one of my older CDs. Yes, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Bol Hari Bol. Okay, it's called Bolo Hari Bolo in the book. Got it? Yeah. Bol Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol. Bol Hari Bol,
Hare Krishna.
Actually, it's a simple song, and Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada says, this is a song you can sing on Nagara Sankirtan, like while moving through the street. Lord Chaitanya would sing like this. And this song, he says, is meant for dancing and singing. So, what is he saying? He says, Mane Ranande Bhai, with a blissful mind, chant the names of Hari. Bol Hari Bol. He says, birth after birth, Janame Janame Sukhe, in birth or death, chant in happiness, Bol Hari Bol. So it's a very simple song. As we say, they would say in America, it's not a rocket science. Just chant. He says, Sampade Vipade Bhai Bol Hari Bol. Yeah. He says, you have obtained a human birth, which is very rare. So, what to do with this human form? Simple. Bol Hari Bol. So he says, Sukhe Thako, Dukhe Thako. Whether you're in happiness or in distress, Bol Hari Bol. So, it's such a simple thing. Sometimes it's the little things that count in life. Simple things. The little things. The little things your mother do for you when you were small. Right? It means a lot. It's the little things. So this is, it seems like a little thing. Bol Hari Bol. But it'll bring you the greatest thing. And he says, whether you are in prosperity or misfortune, what is that? Whether you're in prosperity or misfortune, chant the names, chant Bol Hari Bol. Whether you're living at home or whether you're in the forest like a sannyasi. Previously, the sannyasis lived in the forest. Now, no one is practiced to do that anymore. Now, the sannyasis now roam around. But previously, they would go to the forest. So, whether you're living at home as a householder, grihastha, you can chant. The sannyasis can also chant. Not travel. So it says, remaining in this material world, you should live only for Krishna's purpose. Krishna samsara taki, bol hari bol. this is actually what it means to be a disciple. Srila Prabhupada told one devotee, disciple means to be an instrument in the hand of your spiritual master. You have no separate purpose, no independence. You do what he asks you to do. It's simple. And this was, Krishna set an example like that. As a young boy, he went to the ashram of Sandipani Muni. Him and, what's his friend name? Sudama. Sudama Vipra. And they served their spiritual master. Even Krishna is God. And he's setting the example. They were sent to get firewood in the forest. And they got lost, and there was a storm. Next morning, the spiritual master had to come and look for them. So, while we are in this world, we live for Krishna's purpose. And we'll be happy. Those who serve Krishna, they become very happy. So this is the gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to give out this devotional service. And our line of spiritual masters have continued down to the present day. So then one instruction here, he says, Asat Sangha Charibai. What does this tell you? Asat Sangha. The Asat means temporary. Sat means eternal. Sat means truth. Asat. So association which will only keep you in the material world, give that up. He said, give that up and take up the Vaishnava association. Vaishnava Acharyas. So fall at the feet of the Vaishnavas and chant Bol Hari Bol. And then he concludes the song by telling us, chant the names of Gaura Nityananda, Gaura Gadadhar, and Gaura Advaita. They are members of the Panchatattva. So it's a very simple song, but very nice. Once there's a little footnote here that said Vishnu Jan Maharaj. He was one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples. He was very famous in the movement in the 70s. But he left before Srila Prabhupada departed. But he was a very dear disciple, very dear servant of Prabhupada. He was the only person that Prabhupada allowed to even have deities. Previously, deities were only kept in the temples. And Prabhupada was very strict about it. But with Vishnujan Swami, Prabhupada felt that he was qualified. And he didn't have a stationary temple. As a sannyasi, he lived in a bus. And when Prabhupada told him he could have deities, he got some big deities, like Radha Damodar. Yeah. Those deities are now in Gita Nagari in America, in the East Coast, on a farm. But those were Vishnu Jan's deities, and he traveled with them. If you look at his bus from the outside, it looked like a hippie bus. It was painted yellow with red and green and blue and white, lotus flowers and swans, like a Rath Yatra cart. And in New York City or any city in America, when that bus passed, all heads would turn. They'd never seen something like that. But if you step inside the bus, it was a temple. There were marble on the floor, a nice altar with Srinivasan and Radha Damodar's there. And he traveled with 3 or 4 brahmacharis all over the country of America. And he would go to the universities and sit down and chant Hare Krishna. And he had a kitchen on the bus. He would cook huge, like 20 gallons of khichdi and distribute it to the students. Many devotees joined because of that. They dropped out of school. So this song, he liked this song. And he used to be chanting like this. Bol Hari Bol to Lord Chaitanya Nityananda. It's a really nice song. And the instructions in it are given by Bhaktivedanta Thakur, who is one of our spiritual masters also. So, these, as I always say, these songs are very nice. We shouldn't ignore them. They can help us in our bhajan, help us in our practice of chanting, because the acharyas kind of share their heart. They give us the mood that we should enter into when we chant. We are not chanting for name and fame. We are not chanting for money. We are not professional men. It's devotees. Are we chanting for the pleasure of spiritual master, the pleasure of the deities, the pleasure of the Vaishnavas? So people always ask me, young devotee, what mood, how do I chant? And I always tell them, you have to chant in the mood of a servant. Because that's what we are. Servants forever. Somebody could make a t-shirt like that. Servants forever. It may not be popular in the material society because everybody wants to be masters, right? You are told and I can tell you this is the mentality, you know, in the big cities, in the corporate world. If you want to get ahead, you have to step on other people's head. Yes. But in Vaishnava world, you have to get your head stepped on by everyone. This is how we make progress. It's very simple. Okay. How about Hari Deepali? Not yet. This last one. Save the best for last. You're saying Hari Deepali. This is also one of this. Srila Prabhupada told Jamuna Devi when she asked him, "What is your favorite bhajan?" And he immediately said, Hari Deepali. So, knowing this, I made it a point to learn this bhajan. You can put it on the phone afterwards and you can say something. Have you got any people there? Oh, these guys are already. Hari Hari Bifale janama goainu janama Hari Hari Bifale janama
Bifale janama goainu
Mandu Shajanama Paya Radha and Krishna Gaudiya
Manusya janama paya Radha Krishna Gaudiya
Mandu Shajanama Paya Radha Krishna Gaudiya
Manusya janama paya Radha Krishna Gaudiya Janiya Duniya Krishna Ainu
Janiya Shuniya Krishna
Ainu Janiya Duniya Krishna Ainu
Guru Tera Pramadana Harinam Sankirtana
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 Samsara Dishanale Vibanishi Vyajale
Samsara Dishanale Vibanishi Vyajale
Samsara Dishanale Vibanishi Vyajale
Samsara Dishanale Vibanishi Vyajale
Muraite Nakayu
Muraite Nakayu Muraite
Sachi Sutta Olosei
Radhe Sachi Sutta
Sachi Sutta Olosei
Radhe Sachi Sutta
He's another Acharya in Gaudiya Vaishnava sampradaya, or the disciplic line coming down from Lord Chaitanya. Narottam is a very special person, very special devotee, because Lord Chaitanya told that he was coming before he was born. And Lord Chaitanya said, Kirtan is my life and soul, and when Narottam comes, he will sustain my Kirtan. So he did so. He became like, at the time, Narottam was the Kirtan Acharya. He led such amazing kirtans. There are this historical descriptions In fact, when, let's see, it was several years after Mahaprabhu left, went back to Nityalila, and the devotees were all feeling separation. You can imagine having Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in your company for years and then he's gone. How could you go on living? Even Lord Chaitanya himself, he used to say, I have no love for Krishna. He would say that, I have no love for Krishna. And people would say, but we see you always crying. He said, that is just to make a show. He said, if I had any love for Krishna, how could I go on living my insect life, eating and sleeping when Krishna is gone? How could I go on living? Just concerned with eating and sleeping. He says, this is an insect life. So he says, I have no love. It's just a show, I cried. Of course, it wasn't a show. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was experiencing the highest love, the love that Radharani feels for Krishna. It's one of the esoteric reasons why he came. Internal reasons. He came to distribute the holy names, but he has other things. Just like you may go to a city and you have many things that you want to accomplish. So one of his things was to taste, what is Radharani feeling? What is she experiencing? I don't know. She's so devoted. Her love, I have no experience of that. And I am the king of love. He says, I am Rasaraj, the king of love. But yet, I don't know what is her love for me. So, this is the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Narottam Das, as I was saying, years after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, it was Narottam Das who organized the first Gaur Purnima festival. Yes. At that time, Lord Nityananda's wife, Janavi Mata, she was the eldest Vaishnavi around. So everyone offered their respects to her. So Narottam went and sought her blessings to have this festival. It was at a place called Keturi. That's actually where Narottam appeared, his birthplace. It's in Bangladesh. Well, that time it wasn't called Bangladesh, it was East Bengal. And he organized a big festival and invited devotees from all over. They came from Jagannath Puri, they came from everywhere, Vrindavan. And in those days it means you walk. There were no trains, no planes, you know. But just see, they know the value of this. They would start walking months in advance to get there in time. Thousands of followers, devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared there. And there was a big abhishek and a big fest, everything, you know. Prashadam was prepared to feed everybody. And then when it was time for the kirtan, Narottam Das began singing. We can only imagine what that kirtan was like. But everyone was in so much ecstasy, and in the middle of his kirtan, a miracle happened. The Panchatattva, who had already all gone back to Goloka, they appeared in the kirtan for everyone to see. And they were dancing. Can you imagine that? by the chanting of Narottam Das Thakur, he caused the Panchatattva to come again. There's a very nice description of this. So, Narottam Das is very special Acharya, and his songs are also very special. He wrote 2 books of songs. One is called Prarthana, and Prem Bhakti Chandrika. And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji was once asked by someone, how can I get prem? How can I get love of Krishna? He said, oh, that is very easy. Just go in the marketplace and purchase these 2 books by Narottam. Because in the songs he shared. So Hari Hari Dipale was one of his songs. And in that song he is lamenting. This is his mood. He's lamenting that I've wasted my life by not chanting Hare Krishna, not worshipping Radha and Krishna. He said, I was knowingly drinking poison. Such a nice thing. This Hare Krishna movement brought here by Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, who are no different from Krishna and Balaram. He is telling us so. Brajendra Nandana Jai, Sachi Sutta Bhavase, Balaram Vijayanitai. Thank you. Haribol. Right? So from the Acharyas, we learn who is who and what is what. Most people have no idea. As I said, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a Channa avatar, covered. He's coming in the disguise of a devotee to teach us by example. So this is his Acharya Leela as a teacher. Acharya, we heard this word from the Acharya Srila Prabhupada. He taught by example. Everything that we are doing here, he did it. He taught. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Acharya, and he taught. He came to teach us how to be actual devotee of Krishna. Because there may be many pseudo-devotees, right? Everywhere. There's real money and then there's counterfeit. Right? There's real gold and there's fool's gold. If you want to purchase gold, you have to know how to test what is real gold. So there's real devotee, and then there is the imitation or pseudo. So now Narottam Das is teaching us how to. He said this movement is so nice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu started this movement, this Hare Krishna movement. But he said, I was not attracted. I thought, I have more important things to do. Right? I have more important things to do. I have my career. I have my this, I have my that. So he said, that is like drinking suicide. Drinking poison. So he comes to his senses later on and his remarks. Now I've realized how I've wasted my life. Better late than never. When you realize this, you have no other course but to take shelter. See? We knew nothing in the West, absolutely nothing. At least in India, there's Vedic culture. Some places more than others. South India, the culture is more intact there. Yes. But in the West, what culture is there? Everyone is motor car driver, everyone is womanizer, everyone is meat eater, everyone is drunkard. That's the culture. But so we know nothing. But Prabhupada came, following in the mood of Lord Nityananda, he explained. And once we listened and heard, then we had no other course but to join. It was very radical. It was revolutionary. Yes, it was. Because people in general, society in the West, they thought we were crazy. They said like that. They used to be, in the newspapers, they said, those crazy Hare Krishnas. So when Prabhupada heard that they called us crazy, he wrote an essay called, Who's Really Crazy? Who is crazy? And he had it printed to distribute. Let people know, we are not the crazy ones. You are crazy. You don't take to this movement, then you are crazy. So once we heard what his message, what he had to say, then there was only one thing to do. Come and surrender, give our life. And when I was going, when I made up, after this didn't come to me until I heard Prabhupada speak. I was content to be a Sunday worshipper. Come on Sunday, take prasad, dance in the kirtan and go back home. And I never thought I would join. But then Prabhupada came. And after he spoke, going home that night, all I could think was, I have to join. I must join. It had such effect. And when I finally, it took me a few months to wind up my affairs. But we all have affairs in the material world, entanglements. Had a good job, very good job, in New York City. Everybody wants to come to New York City, the Big Apple. But that apple is rotten in the core. It looks nice on the outside, but it's rotten in the middle. You ever get an apple like that? No? Yeah, it rottens from the inside. Anyway, I went and tell my boss. I give him 2 weeks notice. So he couldn't understand why I'm leaving. Because he thought, you have such a promising future here in this company, a promising career. It's true. I started at the bottom of the lowest position in the company. It was a big company. And in 6 months' time, they promoted me to being a supervisor of one department with 6 men who were all older than me, because I was only 21. 21, I came to America. So it was a good position. He liked me because he said, you have good work ethics. I said, well, I came here to work. He said, yes, but there are many people, they're working, but they don't have the same ethics. So he says, so why are you leaving? I said, I didn't want to tell him because I knew he'll never understand. So I said, I'm just leaving. He said, how much money are they giving you? He thinks that's all he knows. I said, it's not about money. I'm not leaving because of money. He said, tell me how much. I will match it. I'll match it. I said, I tell you, it's not money. I'm not leaving because of money. He kept persisting. He said, I'll give you more than they're giving you. He really believed because people leave one job to go take another job, a better job. So he thinks that's why I'm leaving. So he says, I'll give you more money. And I told him, I said, you don't have enough money to keep me here. And he said, really? So I'm trying to tell you, it's not about money. I'm leaving, I'm going. So he said, well, tell me where you're going and why you're going. So you really want to know? Yes, I want to know. Because you say it's not about money. I say it's not about money. I said, okay. So you see those people in the street? Wearing orange robes. And this was a real novelty back then. You know, it was a phenomenon. I said, those people in the orange sheets and the ponytails, paint on their face. He says, yeah, the Hare Krishna, what of them? He says, I'm going to become one of them. Well, his mouth dropped open because it didn't compute with his intelligence. He couldn't believe it, that I would give this up for that. He said, you're serious about this? I said, yes, I thought about this a long time. This is what I'm going to do. He said, well, he made a last effort. He said, I'll tell you what, if it doesn't turn out the way you think it's going to, come back and I'll have your job waiting for you. But I knew there's no coming back. I said, sir, I've got a one-way ticket out of here. I'm not coming back, so give that job to anybody. I knew I'm going to join with Srila Prabhupada. I understood what he was giving. What was he giving? Get that Prabhupada song. Because time is going. Krishna Tava Punya Habibhai. And I'll tell you about it. Why? So, Prabhupada wrote this song on the boat, the Jaladuta, crossing the Atlantic Ocean, somewhere in the middle of the ocean. And in his diary he says, today I reveal my mind to my dear companion, Krishna. Now he wrote this poem, it has, it's really 8 verses, but he wrote it as if it's 9, because one of the verses, the 6th verse, is actually a shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, whereas all the other verses are Prabhupada. He composed them in Bengali, and he wrote it in the Bengali script, you know. So, when I see this one verse, why did he put it in there? Because this is what he was thinking. So here's the verse by Prahlad Maharaj. The Sanskrit, it's in Sanskrit, it's in Bhagavatam, whereas all of Prabhupada's verses are in Bengali. But it's important that Prabhupada put it in there. So this verse, Prahlad Maharaj, is one of the prayers he offers to Lord Nrsimhadev. He says, Evam janam nipatitam prabhavaha vahikupe kama bikamam anuja prapatam prasangat kridvatmashat surashina bhagavan vihita soham katam visvaje tava britya sevam. And the meaning, let's get this meaning. He says, Prahlad Maharaj, my Lord, thus by associating with material desires, one after another, I was following the general population by falling into a blind well full of snakes. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the great sage Narad Muni, my spiritual master, he kindly accepted me as his disciple, and he instructed me how to achieve the transcendental position similar to his own position. So how could I ever leave the service of your servant? See? There's no question of leaving. As I say, we come with a one-way ticket. We're not going back. So Prabhupada was thinking like that. The important thing that I picked out of this verse is, he says, my spiritual master has given me, he instructed me how to achieve transcendence, how to achieve a transcendental position. So this is what Prabhupada is coming to give us. Instructions whereby all of us, each and every one of us, can achieve transcendence. Do you believe it? Just by this process you follow, you will become transcendental. So, anyway, I've explained this song so many times, but I'll say it again. In this song, Prabhupada is addressing Krishna as his very dear friend. Krishna tava punya have bhai. Bhai means brother, but it's more than one Bengali devotee friend of mine. He says it means more than brother. It means like a bosom, someone you keep close to your heart, a bosom friend, a dear friend, someone you disclose your heart to, and he discloses his heart to you. So this is, the first time I came upon this word was long ago in America. There was a Gujarati community in California. I was the president of the Laguna Beach Temple. I was there for like 10 years. And I made friends with this community. And I noticed they always addressed one another as Bhai. It was Chiman Bhai, Prabhajit Bhai, so, yeah? And so I asked him, what is this Bhai? He said, it's an affectionate term. And they were very affectionate to one another. So I used to go to all their homes every Friday and Saturday night and do bhajans. And it was really nice. So Prabhupada is addressing Krishna like that. Oh, my dear friend, it is known that your life revolves around Srimati Radharani. You are always seeking her mercy. Everyone is seeking your mercy, but you are seeking Radharani's mercy. He's telling Krishna, I know this about you. This is a fact. All Gaudiya Vaishnavas know this. He says, so this is for all time. It's fixed like the pole star. Dhruvayati boli tomai thai. Dhruvaloka is the pole star. So he said, I'm coming to you, my dear friend, because my spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he has given me a tall order. He wants me to go and take this out of India, around the world, to the English-speaking world. And that's a tall order. I feel incompetent. I'm not qualified to do this. I don't know where to begin. And Prabhupada, before coming, he asked many people, many Vaishnavas, to help him. He kept saying, my Guru Maharaj has given me this, at least I have to try, even though it seems so impossible. And everyone is telling him, don't go, you're old. What are you going there to die? Stay here, stay in Vrindavan. But Prabhupada was not, that wasn't working for him. he was determined. I have to go, I have to try. And so, on the boat, he had 2 heart attacks. And he thought, if I get another one, I'll die. So he's praying to Krishna. I really need your help. Only with if you give me your Shakti, Krishna Shakti, Vinanahe Tara Pravartana. Without this cannot be done. You cannot spread Krishna consciousness without that. So he says, he's telling Krishna, I need your mercy, I need your Shakti, so I can please my Guru Maharaj. If I please my Guru Maharaj, that is my success in life. Every morning we sing in the Guru Vashtakam at Mangalarti, Yasya Prasada Bhagavad Prasado, Yasya Prasada Nagati Katoti. Right? By satisfaction of the spiritual master, Krishna is pleased. So, he says, I need your help to do this, to please my spiritual master. And then he tells us, he glorifies his Guru Maharaj in 3 verses. And then he says, now my spiritual master, he is a servant of Lord Chaitanya. He's a servant of Radharani. So, because he's asking me to do this, that means Radharani wants this to be done. She's involved, she's not out of the picture. You know? This is under her jurisdiction. This Sankirtan movement is under the jurisdiction of Radharani. So, so he says, so she wants it done. So, I'm telling you, if you help me, that would be good for you. You will get some, yes, you'll get Radharani's kripa. So what do you think? Krishna said, you have me there. You have me there. So whatever you want, I will give. And he says so in Bhagavad-Gita. My devotees, whatever they lack, I will supply. So he supplied Prabhupada, and Prabhupada did the impossible, what no one imagined, even his godbrothers. They were shocked, they were surprised with the success that Prabhupada was having in the country of the Mlechas. Right? They were surprised. They couldn't believe it. They thought, is it the same Abhay? Because Prabhupada was a grihastha most of his life. While many of his godbrothers were already sannyasis long time. And he came, he was like the dark horse, came from behind, the underdog. Right? The last horse will come out of the gate, and then he comes and passes everybody and leaves them behind. Because he had Krishna Shakti and firm faith in the spiritual master. So all this Prabhupada expressed in his song. A wonderful song. And he said, at the last 2-3 verses, Prabhupada gives a little glimpse into his inner life, his aspirations. What is, just like Narottam Das Thakur, he shares his aspirations. Radha and Krishna Pranamor, Jugala Kishora, Jivane Marane Gati, he wants to serve the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. And Prabhupada, he expresses a little different sentiment. He says, Tomaro Milane Bhai. I'll tell you exactly what he says. He says, Tomara Milane Bhai, Abara se Sukha Bhai, Go Charane Guri Dina Bor. Utabane chuta chuti, bone khai lutalti, say deen kabe habe more. He says, oh my dear friend, if the chance to meet you again, the chance to meet with you occurs again, then surely I will be able to rejoin you. I'll come back with you. He says, and in your company, I will experience great joy once again, wandering about the pastures and fields. I will pass the entire day with you in tending cows, joking with you and frolicking with you throughout the many forests of Braj. I will enjoy such pastimes as stealing and eating each other's lunches. When, oh when will that day be mine? So this is what he's aspiring for. Okay, so let's sing it because we have already gone over time. I don't want our president to beat me over the head. Krishna, Tava Punya Have Bhai. Krishna, Tava Punya Have Bhai. Tava Punya Have Bhai. Krishna, Tava Punya Have Bhai. Radharani Sukhi Have Rubhayati Boli Tomata Ye Punya Karibe Jave Radharani Sukhi Have Rubhayati Boli Tomata Krishna Tava Punya Have Krishna Tava Punya Have Krishna Tava Punya Have Sri Siddhanta Saraswati Sati Sutta Priyayani Krishna Seva Jara Purana Siddhanta Saraswati Sati Sutta Priyayani Krishna Seva Jara Purana Se Mahanta Guru Jagate Made Guru Krishna Bhakti Dedita Se Mahanta Guru Jagate Made Guru Krishna Bhakti Dedita Krishna Tava Punya Hari Bhagavan Vasayate Tanasan Hori Jate Gorangirana Hari Bhagavan Vasayate Tanasan Hori Jate Gorangirana Prithivite Nagarani Asamudra Nagarani Sakale Bole Krishna Ram Prithivite Nagarani Asamudra Nagarani Sakale Bole Krishna Ram Krishna Tava Punya Have Krishna Tava Punya Have Krishna Tava Punya Have Bahale Ananda Hoy Kode Hoy Divijoy Chaitanya
তাহলে অনন্ত হয় তবে হয়ে দেবে জয় যেটাতে রাখে পাবি জয়
মায়া দুষ্ট যত রুখি জগতে সবার সুখী বৈষ্ণবের পিছ পূর্ণ হয়
মায়া দুষ্ট জগতে সবাই সুখী বৈষ্ণবের সম্পূর্ণ যদি দিল করে জগনী আমি
সে তোমার কৃপা মাগিতেছি অনুরূপা আজি তুমি সবনা
তাই সে তোমার কৃপা মাগিতেছি অনুরূপা আজি তুমি সবার করিনা
शक्ति चले गुरु सेवाय वस्तु मिले जीवन साथ चली
शक्ति मिले गुरु विद्या वस्तु मिले जीवन साथ चली
सेवा करे ताहरे सुखी हरे तब संग भगत मिल
सेवा करे ताहरे सुखी हरे तब संग भगत मिल
তুমি মোর চির সাথী ভুলিয়া মায়া বাকি দয়াছি জন্ম জন্মান্তরে
তুমি মোর চির সাথী ভুলিয়া মায়া বাকি দয়াছি জন্ম জন্মান্তরে
আজি পুনরে সুযোগ যদি হয় যোগ যোগ তবে পারি তুমি বারে
আজি পুনরে সুযোগ যদি হয় যোগ যোগ তবে হবে পুরে হরিবার তোমার মিলনে ভাই চোখে পাই গোজারে গরি
পানে ছুটা ছুটি বলে খায় লুটা লুটি সেই দিন কবে হবে
কত বনে ছুটা ছুটি বনে খায় লুটা ছুটি সেই দিন কবে হবে
আজি সে সুবিধা হওয়া তোমার স্মরণ দেওয়া বড় আশা দক্ষিণান্তা আজি সে সুবিধা হওয়া
তোমার চরণ ধুলা পরবাতা পাপি জমতা
আমি তোমার চরা তাই করে তোরা নিবিন অন্যগতি নাই
আমি তোমার চরা চরিয়া তুমি বিনা গতি না
Like to thank his guest Sanghadev Prabhu for his wonderful melodious kirtans and bhajans. So tomorrow will be again blessed by his Prabhuji. He'll be coming here and leading Mangal Aarti. So good motivation for all of you to go back and come back early in the morning. Also you can have Prabhuji's association. Some of our CDs are still available. So those of you who want to have your CDs, you can still contact Preceptor-disciple Prabhu. Few copies are left, so you can avail this facility and have the CDs also. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.